So in this segment, I want to talk about the salary caps going into League One and League Two teams. So this is something that they have voted for. The clubs have voted for salary caps. So you've got fix. So let's see. So I think League One would have £2.5 million salary cap, and League Two would be £1.5 million pound salary cap, and this includes basic wages, taxes, bonuses, image rights, agent fees, and other fees and expenses paid directly or indirectly to all registered players. And so I think this is a good move purely because lower league clubs normally have a big sustainability problem, especially in the COVID era as well. And this was probably made for the COVID era, where it's going to stop clubs chasing promotions that cause massive instability. We see that in the Championship as well, where clubs, pay massive amounts in wages and in transfer fees, hoping to reach the Premier League and catapult themselves up in order to, make the money that you get in the Premier League. And if you don't make it, then you're in real trouble. I think Aston Villa had big problems a few years ago because they couldn't make the jump. And so if we keep going, so here's a survey, from £29,000 a week to £5,000 a week. League survey reveals a huge gap in wages between Championship and League One. So she talks about how players in the Championship make a lot more money. The lowest paid top earner at a Champions League club is on £8,500 a week. It's a bit of a strange way to word it. The top paid player in League One is said to be at a Northern club earning £15,600 a week. And so here you can see why these are huge amounts to be paying players, especially now that there's a pandemic and these clubs have been hit because they don't make as much through TV revenue. I think Tifo Football do great work on this, where they talk about the three main incomes. So you've got match day income, commercial income, and TV income. So you got so. Oh, I almost forgot that. So you got match day income, which is the money you make on match days. Obviously, you got tickets, food, all that stuff. Then you got commercial, which is I think TV. God, I forgot what I was going to say. It doesn't matter. Anyways, I'll put it up in post. You've got three main sources of income. And obviously, League One have less TV revenue because obviously less people watch it. Most of that money goes to the top. And so that's what puts them in the position. So they need to make more from match days. And obviously they can't do that, make money from match days, purely because of the pandemic. And I don't know when these clubs will be open, when you'll be allowed to actually watch these games. So if we actually look at, what's a good, wage to, what's a good turnover to wage ratios between about 15 and 30%. So you only want to be spending maximum 30% of your turnover on payroll. So you want to be paying people too much compared to how much you make. And some clubs, I think Tifo they do great work on this stuff, where they talk about, some clubs paying 60-70% of the money they make in wages, which is unsustainable. And it also hampers you in the transfer market. So if we actually look at these Premier League teams, how much they spend, here you have, Arsenal, the fifth highest. So this is from 2019, and this is the financial year, I think the 2018 financial year. So it's a few years ago, but it's still pretty relevant. Here you can see, 60% of their turnover goes to wages. Here you can see Bournemouth here making a loss, £11 million loss. 76% of their turnover goes to wages. Brighton, 56%. Burnley, 56%, which is surprising given that I don't think they have too many high earners, but I don't think they make that much money either, which makes sense. Chelsea, 55%. They don't pay insane wages to on average. Crystal Palace, 78% of their turnover of their revenue goes to payroll. Let's have a look. Who else is there? Everton, 77%. I think theirs would be higher now because they've got more players, more high earners on the book. So it's not sustainable because all that money you're spending, all that money coming in, you've got to go into wages. So how much do you have for transfers? Especially because they've made a £13 million loss as well. Huddersfield, obviously theirs would be very different now because they got relegated, but you got 50%, which is better because they got relegated. They at least have a bit more money and they won't be spending as much on those contracts. Because they got relegated. Hopefully they had relegation clauses. Leicester 75%, Liverpool 58%, Manchester City 52%, and Manchester United 50%, which is surprising. Because Manchester United have a lot of top earners, but at the same time, it kind of makes sense because that's how Man United make insane amounts of money. turnover is 590 million compared to City's 500 million. It's an extra 90 million. It's an extra Paul Pogba. So if we keep going, Newcastle 53%, Southampton 75. That's very high. Are they at number one? 10th highest. Stoke 74. That's the one they were in the Premier League. Swansea 71. Let's see. Let's see who's the first highest. See if we can find it. Okay, it doesn't want to play ball, but you can see how how much Premier League clubs pay, and that's why when they get relegated, it's haunting. And so here we've got League One and Two finances set back a decade thanks to the coronavirus pandemic, and I'm not a fan of this for Premier League teams purely because those teams are more sustainable, and there'll always be a buyer for a Premier League team. We've seen that with Newcastle, a mid-table club who had Saudis offering a lot of money for it, but for the lower league teams, there's not. We've seen that with Bury. Bolton struggled to find a buyer, and there was one more I'm thinking of. Can't remember the name. And so, with the Premier League, obviously, those players generate the wealth. So all that money will be just going on to, dividends and, to the owners, essentially. And obviously, you can make the argument in League One. But, the less stable your club is at League One and, League Two, the more chance you have of just insolvency. The more chance you have at insolvency and your club just going. Or ending up in the non-leagues where there's even less money. And having to have a fire sale. So obviously there are issues. I think the Premier League, I think a salary cap may be a good idea, but at the same time, like that money would just go to the owners. And maybe you look at clubs and you look at their where's it gone? Their turnover ratio, and you put a cap in. Say you can only spend 75% of your income, your revenue on wages. But I just thought this was an interesting video to make, purely because I think it's a very good move from the EFL to do this. And so I've rambled on for a long time. Hopefully clubs become a bit more sustainable, and if you're one of those people, support your local club, and when it reopens, go and if you can buy their stuff, like their scarves and whatever merchandise they sell, that will go to help them. So I've rambled on long enough. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.